Hello and welcome back to another episode of Diablo to D&D. My name is David, and today we're going over the changelog for April 28th. No campaign updates so far. We haven't been able to meet in the past 2 weeks, so we're just going to jump right into the changelog. The Sorceress's Inferno now gives you just Burning Hands with modifications instead of a written out ability. I figured I'd simplify the crap out of it, and it makes it so much easier. For the Amazon, the Valkyrie is now 20th level instead of 18th. This was something that I've been looking at for quite some time, so I just pulled the trigger this week. For the Assassin, Burst of Speed now increases your movement as you level up. This is actually something that I had been considering for a while now, and decided to pull the trigger on it. The Burst of Speed increase is about half the speed of the monk rounded up, I believe is what I decided on. For the Paladin, Cleansing's bonus action from its improvement now ends the poison condition or curse instead of repeating the saving throw. It's just a get rid of it, kind of like how the monk has, I think it's Stillness of Mind. The Paladin's Prayer healing now has a minimum of 1. Paladin's Sacrifice now works with melee weapon attacks instead of melee weapons. Now this does mean that you can sacrifice on an unarmed strike. Not entirely sure how that's going to work, but I'm going to run with it anyway. For the Assassin, Cloak of Shadows now uses Intelligence as the spell's spellcasting ability. Forgot to do that one. A handful of changes for the Sorceress. Teleport, Blizzard, Enchant, Frozen Orb, Inferno, Firewall, Chain Lightning, and Thunderstorm now grant the ability to cast their respective spells using spell slots. This, I think, is going to be temporary. This isn't something I am completely sold on, and I'm going to have to be tweaking some things, how many charges you get, and whatnot. Especially since the Sorceress has a ton of spells that they're learning, and I'm going to be changing things, hopefully changing things to be more D&D-like, ? So you're going to be getting fewer spells, but more, this is a fire sorceress kind of thing. Inferno now automatically gives Burning Hands the changes instead of them being an option. This is just every time you cast it. And Thunderstorm now automatically gives Call Lightning the changes instead of them being an option. Just every time you cast it. Some of these abilities that give you spells make modifications to the spell. Some of them, like Enchant, do not automatically give you the benefit, or give you the changes. Specifically for Enchant, it's because it removes concentration from the spell. And I don't think that's particularly good. Actually, you know what? I'll consider it, because I don't think that Enchant is, too terribly powerful, because you have to be using a non-magical weapon. If you want it to be really good, it has to be, 6th level, which, meh. I think Enchant could just have its concentration removed regardless. Anyway, finishing up, the Paladin's Holy Bolt's minimums for healing and damage have been removed, so this could hypothetically end up with 0 damage and 0 healing if you roll poorly enough and have a negative charisma for some reason. The Paladin's Sacrifice's necrotic damage now ignores resistance and immunity. This is pulled directly from the Evocation Wizard's Empowered spell, I think, which deals you necrotic damage when you maximize out your damage. Yeah, I mean, the idea is that you're giving up your life force in order to deal additional damage. So, lastly, for the Amazon, Magic Arrow can now make any ammunition deal force damage, not just bows and crossbows. So yes, it is Magic Arrow, but I figured if you want to use a blowpipe for some reason, or a sling, again, for some reason, then yeah, sure, why not? You can do force damage with it. Now, Enchanted Shot still only works with bows and crossbows, but Magic Arrow will work with any ranged weapon that requires ammunition. Anyway, I think that's going to be it. you can contact me at XenosFan2, that is XENOZFAN2, on Blue Sky and Reddit. And you can contact the channel directly at Diablo TODND on Blue Sky and YouTube. Thank you much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Have a good whatever.